Hey guys, welcome back to Jenny from the Chopping Block. And today I have a synchrodestiny friend that I've actually met during this time through Unify. And so Satyen, it's so good to have you here. It's amazing that you agreed. I'm so grateful. And I just find it really interesting how during the beginning of this whole situation, you were one of the people that I just looked up to so much, and I've been following you throughout. And I just want to kind of dive in a little deeper and get to know you better. And, you know, after I kind of reached out to you, I was grateful for the conversation we had. And I feel like we have a lot of similar thoughts about, especially like upbringing and feeling like maybe there's more to life than just what we're programmed to believe. So my first question is what is your involvement and meaning with Unify? How'd you get involved with them?
My friend Ramayan, one of my friends, is one of the leaders of that particular group in Unify, and we have really wonderful friends in that organization. And so it was so wonderful to be part of this great sharing in the world, and I got to meet you and befriend you.
Well, thank you. And I did after talking with you, and I saw you on videos. You just kept coming up in my view. And I saw that you have an organization called WarriorSage. Can you tell the audience a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we're a leadership training organization. We train all types of leaders in business, in social movements, in consciousness, in health and healing, in vitality. And we also foster an international community of warrior sages. It's a free dojo, if you will, a martial art consciousness dojo, not martial arts, but consciousness arts around the world. And we've been at this for over 20 years, and we've been teaching tens of thousands of individuals all around the world how to ignite passion, live freedom, and embody love.
Beautiful. And I remember you mentioning that you and your son share the same passion for martial arts. And how'd you get into that?
Well, I was a kid and I saw Bruce Lee, of course, and a TV show called Kung Fu with David Carradine playing the character of Kwai Chang Caine, and that really inspired me to step on the spiritual path of the warrior. You know, there's inner work, and then the warrior is being able to live the principles in actuality in real life, not just within. So that whole archetype of the warrior, the enlightened warrior, the conscious warrior, the peaceful warrior, combined with the wisdom of the sages, really touched me. And I believe we have all of that. All of us have an inner spiritual warrior, inner spiritual sage. We just need to foster, awaken, love it into being.
It's beautiful. And you know, it's funny. I was reading every week. I read Think and Grow Rich with a friend, and we discuss each topic. And I'm working the election today, so I have a little more time I have to sit in place, so I'm reading a little ahead. And the topic, it's funny, I've been thinking about Bruce Lee and how his vision for, and in the book it states like, he mastered his craft, and then for people still to idolize him and know who he is, it was through his vision of being in film. And then when I clicked on your page to send you the link, that was your cover photo, and I'm like, whoa, there's a message here today, folks. So that's awesome. I guess where focus goes, energy flows.
I've been blessed to have two mentors, Mark Makita and Paul Vunak, who have been trained in the lineage of Bruce Lee under Danny Inosanto and their own explorations into Bruce Lee's martial art called Jeet Kune Do. And the essence of that philosophy is absorb what's useful, discard what's no longer useful, and come up with your own creations. And I believe that's a great philosophy to have with everything, especially in the human potential path, where we can get very fixated on our viewpoints and ideas, thinking we've arrived with some type of elevated viewpoint, only to realize years later that there's more and more and deeper transformation and deeper viewpoints to have. And so having the humility, the humbleness to recognize that although it might seem that I've got many hundreds of years of understanding in my so-called lineage, which is what Bruce Lee did. He tested to see, are those actually real and valid, and do they work, these philosophies, these principles, underneath duress in real time? And that's where he cultivated the philosophy of absorb what's useful. So he drew from many martial arts what he considered the most useful, applicable, real life things that work, not just in legend, but actually work. And he let go of all the stuff that didn't. And I've adopted that philosophy to how to live life, every aspect of life, because I believe it keeps us fresh, keeps us clean, keeps us humble, keeps us in curiosity, and we don't get stuck in entrenched point of views. We're always testing the validity of our points of view for their effectiveness. So at the end of the day, it's not, is the point of view right or wrong? That the point of view is, are the paradigms I'm absorbing and living furthering my life, or stagnating them, or holding them back?
That's beautiful. And I just want to mention also that I've just been amazed at the guests that you have on your interviews. And I feel like you just have such a great community of people. Like, how did you come up? How did you meet everybody? Like, how'd you get into that world?
You know, I read Think and Grow Rich as a youngster, like you. And in there, the story is that Napoleon Hill is traveling. He gets this, if you will, mission to go around the world and meet very wealthy people and to draw and learn from them. And in the old days, in the Kung Fu days, martial art days, a master would teach his student deeply. And then when he felt there's other pieces of the puzzle of their maturation need development, he would send them to this master, that master, this master. And so I've been on this journey for 40 years now of seeking out wisdom masters, elders, those who are living embodiments of profound wisdoms from every corner of the planet, from scientific to ethereal and esoteric, you name it. And I believe that the way of respect, the way of learning, the deepest way we can learn is through not only the words and the writings, but the transmission, what they're transmitting of these great wisdoms embodied through life experience. So I've been blessed to have met and learned and sought out many great masters, and many of them have agreed to appear during this COVID time on our WarriorSage community page and be shared and interviewed and such. So I'm also very, very grateful and humbled as I look back at the 50 interviews or so that I've done or I am doing, and going, I can't believe these are all most of my friends and colleagues and loved ones. So there's something happening, a quickening. I believe there's a quickening of wisdom. We have so much wealth in the world. We've got resources. We've got great intelligence. But where's the wisdom to direct this planet? The wisdom to direct society? So these wisdom keepers and masters, I believe, are the ones now that we need to really listen to. Not just the most intelligent, not just the most powerful with money and political influence, but those who are living an embodied love and truth that transcends the factioning, that transcends the separative consciousness, that transcends separation. The wise ones have integrated their separation and have that to transmit it. And I believe it's time we listen.
It's beautiful. And I have two people that I remember, like, that I just learned a lot from your interaction with live. And one was, it seemed like you had a mutual person that you both really looked up to in the past, and you would travel to like sacred places with him. I don't know if
was it a medical doctor? Can you remember who it was? Dr. Juan Baez?
Maybe. And you were just reminiscing on stories with him, and it almost like you were talking him like he was still with us. And
you know what? Most of my interviews are like that. We had a lot of adventures together. So I'm sorry, I can't pinpoint which one, but yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And so I also saw, and I don't know too much about accelerated evolution. What is that about?
That's one of the leadership trainings in our WarriorSage umbrella. And Accelerated Evolution Academy, you can check it out, acceleratedEvolutionAcademy.com. This is specifically for those who are in the healing, guiding, coaching, mentoring, management, physicians, therapists, guides. This is a training as well as a community to learn these very profound psychospiritual tools of transformation that I've been curating and bringing together over the last 40 years of my practice. And I consider these the cutting edge methods of removing trauma, dissolving deep-seated challenges, relationship problems, money problems, life problems. It's a way to tap into the power of the disharmony and awaken it so that we become more conscious, enlightened, flow state beings. So consider it turbo psychospiritual methodology for Jedis.
Whoa!
And yeah, it's the real Jedi material of consciousness transformation. And so we're training that, and people can learn to do it on themselves, for their family members. They can become a practitioner. And for those who want to be a professional coach and guide, they can also step up into that.
Beautiful. So what is everything looking like now? I sense that you have like live events, or you come together, you do retreats and stuff. How is that transformed?
Yeah, so for our Accelerated Evolution Academy, we have online training, as well as we meet online in groups together as well to practice and to learn these methods and processes, and we go through group trainings. And when the COVID lifts, we'll also have our live retreat starting again as well, when it's safe to do so.
Cool. So if you don't mind me asking, or maybe we could share a little bit about what we talked about over the phone about your upbringing with, like, kind of when you realized that there was something else out there. Like as a kid, you were like, there's something else, like there's something missing. Can you share that with the audience as well?
Yeah, I believe many of us have this time in our life where we feel that what we see here, what we're experiencing here, there's got to be more to just the everyday TikTok mechanistic rituals of everyday waking up, going to work from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, all those patterns which are ingrained in society. Many of us have that sense that there is a type of freedom, a way to live life that is greater than these particular prescribed rituals that society has as a base, if you will. And so those of us who have that thirst to have a deeper level of freedom, a more profound way of living and experiencing love and freedom in our lives, there's an energy of evolution within us that gets us and compels us to move beyond these rat race rituals, if you will, these rat race automaticities, and come into a deeper degree of freedom. And so I believe that if we listen to that call within, and we say yes to that spirit within us, which says, I am ready for a whole new level of freedom, of joy, of awakening in my life. Just that saying yes to that part within yourself and standing behind it, and then saying, I'm not just going to accept my previous life. I'm going to expand more. When we do that, we make that internal decision, great forces come to our aid. Guides, mentors, help, teachers, paths open up in front of us. You've experienced this.
Yeah.
And so that path is the path of, I call it the WarriorSage. And the path is the path is hard to find, and it's easy to lose. But it's always there.
Okay, why is it easy to lose?
Because we can get our ego immersed in it. We can think we've arrived. We can think there's nothing else to learn. We can think that if we go on this path, that our old life might fall apart. And so we go back to the contracted default state of being in the old patterns, because there's comfort to be had. There's the known. Mm-hmm. To walk on the path of the unknown requires openness, courage, love, and faith that the universe is supporting you. And it is.
It's speaking to me right now. I actually I'm a Tony Robbins fan, and I'm in his community, and we were going through our Date with Destiny books, and that those three words you just said was courage, faith, and what was the other one? Whatever you just said was like my question, like what I want to be, what I want to do, what I want to show up as. So yeah. When you said that, I was like, well, that's, not to be like, oh my God, but it's just amazing. So
it's humbleness.
What?
Humbleness, humility, to know that the path is eternal and we're on some stage of it, and so is everyone else. To have less judgment, less fear, more trust, more faith, more embrace of our fellow humans and humanity on the earth plane.
Absolutely. So how has this time been for you? I know that you've been busy, and I see you're inspiring people and heavily involved in the community. How have you been throughout everything going on?
Personally, I've enjoyed cocooning with my family. It's been a very beautiful time. We have obviously the stuff that comes up to the surface in months of cocooning. and we've taken a conscious approach to work with it rather than stuff down what arises or put it aside. So it's been very healing, loving, deepening of my family. So I love that part of it.
Beautiful.
My work has expanded, and I believe some people's work has expanded, and I know not everyone has. So my love and my compassion and good energy goes to you. But for myself, and for some of us, we know that we're the bridge builders into a new reality from the past. We know that there is no going back to norm. We have to create new norms. And so I'm very, if you will, focused, dedicated to creating and supporting new norms in business, new norms in consciousness, new ways that we can take the life lessons of this sacred, challenging time that we're in, and then bring it into reality to move the momentum of consciousness, love, and freedom forward rather than backwards. And I know many others who are listening here are on that. And I'm going to invite us all, if you feel that, you know that you're part of that way shower, you're part of that bridge building into a better life, a better reality, better society, then time now to step up, my friends. Time now to be even more courageous, to speak with boldness, to act with boldness, to come from love, and to do the right thing that your soul already knows it's here for. Now it's time to step up.
Beautiful. Was there anything that maybe was like challenging for you that you found like a tool or a way to get through it, that you can maybe share?
Yeah, one of the biggest tools that I've been applying during this whole time of COVID is I go outside in my backyard, find a little plot of grass, get a little blanket, and I sleep. I take naps, but on the earth. Right on the earth. Now, my place is a little bit more quiet, so I'm very lucky and blessed to do that. But I'm going to recommend everyone get their shoes off.
Ground.
If you're in warm, even if it's cool and chilly. It was cool and chilly the other day. I walked with bare feet through, grass, and there's a transmission. There's a powerful message that comes from the earth, from Mother Earth, Mother Gaia herself, that gets infused into our system. When we remove the rubber, when we remove the separation from the earth, we lay down, we sit, we surrender to the earth. What happens is we get reorganized. Our psycho-spiritual energetic templates become reorganized with the great power of Earth Gaia. And then what happens is our wisdom center opens. We become more symbiotically aware of our interrelationship with the whole. And this is wisdom. Right now, wisdom is recognizing that we are not just mentally interconnected to the whole, that we are part of the whole. So this practice of earthing, which some people call it, laying down on the earth, touching the earth, breathing, gardening, getting your hands dirty, getting your feet right touching the earth itself. I believe it's such a powerful ground. Sounds so simple, but there's great magnificence and power that will come from it. That's my invitation. And daily, do this daily.
I do have to do it more, but I'm a firm believer in that. And I do my workout in the morning, and instead of like laying down on the track to do my crunches and stuff, I lay right in the grass. I don't care if it's wet, like whatever. Yeah. And it just feels like I'm, it's amazing. It feels like it's more comfortable anyway.
And you feel like $1 million after you've sat there for a while. You feel part of the earth.
And there's another thing I was thinking of last night, like about water. So like, I never knew there was a difference between like regular, like dead water and alive water. So So I've been drinking like my celery juice, and I just feel like it's alive because it's coming from something
that's alive.
Yeah. Is that weird? I'm like, I don't know. It's like thinking about that. And I heard Dr. Anthony talk about it from Medical Medium, and I was like, that makes so much sense. So that was really interesting. So I want to ask you, it's kind of a little bit off topic, but I want to know what your favorite food is, because part of me just loves to connect over food, and I'm kind of exploring possibly to heal through food. And that's part of my show too. And part of my passion. So I'm curious about what your favorite go-to.
My favorite food is vegan food.
Ooh.
Food made without any animal products, food made with love, food made with consciousness. I'm not pushing any agenda here, vegan agenda, but it works for me. It works for my energy body. It works for the planet. It works for spirit. And so in that, I love to eat, lots of alkaline foods, fresh greens, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables. The more alkaline producing or alkaline energetically aligned foods, acidic is even your body can feel it intuitively. Sugar, caffeine, coffee, stimulation. All of these things are more acidic in nature, things which have more simpler, not processed, coming from the earth, prepared simply with love, more alkaline food. The more I move towards the alkaline, the more my demeanor is calm, the more I feel at home in my body, the more I feel a soul and mind and heart unity going on. The more I go into acidic foods, which I do once in a while, 10, 20 meals in the evening, fun foods, some junk food here and there.
I've been falling asleep when I eat that stuff lately.
Right? Because
my body's like,
it knocks your energy down.
It's crazy.
Alkaline foods raise your energy level and calmness and centeredness. So I think that's the general direction, to move towards more and more vegetarian, more and more vegan, and not from a place of righteousness or mindset, but from a place of feeling, your heart opening, becoming less injurious to all that's around you, more towards things that are bringing unity and awareness of my relationship to the whole.
So what's your favorite?
Oh my goodness. Wow. There's a Indian dish called pani puri, Pani puri, which are these wafer balls that are stuffed with potatoes or chickpeas or whatever veggies, and they're dipped in a type of water that's spiced, and you drink. So that's a fun food.
Is the sauce green?
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's also called golgappa
wait, how do I spell it again?
Golgappe, or pani, Pani, puri, Puri. That's a fun snack food, but very intense if you're not used to it. And I love pizza, vegan pizza. Now, most places in my neighborhood make pizza without the regular cheese. They use vegan cheese or no cheese. I love pizza, thin crust, awesome pizza. That's one of mine. And I love hearty salads.
That's my go-to lately.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And I'll put in my salad soaked or cooked kidney beans that are cooled off, just to give it that bit of to it, or chickpeas to give it a little. So those are some of my fun go-to foods. All right.
Cool.
I've never asked me that before. I'm happy to do
it. The next one's even more fun. So, if you could have a superpower, which my hallucination is you might have a few. But if you got to pick one, what would that be?
My biggest superpower that I would love to have, that I'm aiming to always cultivate, but I would love to have it just like that, is to have people see each other's viewpoints and have compassion and deep understanding for each other's viewpoints, and to be able to speak to each other's deepest positive intent behind their viewpoint, rather than caught up in this externalizations of the viewpoint. I wish I could just have everyone go, boom, boom, hey, I understand you. And I could turn on a magic pill, especially now, because there's so much friction about viewpoints. and fixated ideas about viewpoints. But what most people fail to see is that underneath all the surface of viewpoints, there's a deep positive intention. Of course, the rare person is evil and not benevolent, is diabolical. I believe there are people such as that, but it's the minority. The majority are somewhere in the middle, and some people are saintly like this. All right. So if we can turn that superpower on, not just in me, but in everyone, Stephen Covey said, be willing to understand before you're willing to be understood. I believe right now is such a powerful superpower for all of us to cultivate and to feel. What is their positive intent with someone who has a totally different, even supposedly antagonistic viewpoint?
Empathy.
You got it.
That's beautiful. Okay, so I have one more question that popped in my head about WarriorSage and maybe your biggest message and your biggest breakthrough within that group, and I just want to hear a little more about that, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Well, some of the work I do is with leadership teams of organizations and CEOs of companies and organizations, and my work with them is really about evoking what I call transcendent leadership or transcendent culture, where we're taking into account the humanity, the oneness. We're not just looking at profits. We're not just looking at shareholder value. We're looking at how valuable is this organization for the sake of the whole? How aligned is this organization from within, without, to everything, to the benefit of the all? Omni-win, whole, everyone wins. This is my passion, my purpose, and my mission now, to evoke that in organizations, and I do that in various ways. But that, I feel there's great strides that are being made, so I'm very happy about that, but more needs to be done. And on our personal work with WarriorSage for individuals, we, as you know, we've started, and you're welcome to be part of our international training community. Just go to WarriorSage.com. There's 3 free trainings you can download. One's on relationship activation, all relationships, platonic and otherwise. Another one's on power activation, going from the ego's power to enlightened power. Another one's on abundance activation, not just money creation, but the inner well-beingness of abundance. Those are absolutely free. You download them. There's a dojo kit. You start it at home. It's a full, amazing live seminar you can do with your friends, family members at home or through Zoom. There's no cost. There's nothing to buy. There's nothing to sign up for. It's all designed so that leaders around the world, those who feel that there's a warrior and a sage within them, that they want to align with, rub up against, share positive energy with, and train together. That's an invitation to everyone here. Just go to WarriorSage.com, download those, and you'll be part of our international community.
Beautiful. And I wanted to ask you, and I think I actually stole this line from your show. Is there anything else on your heart that you want to share with everybody? Do you say that? Because I think I got that from you. I take a little bit, like you said, everywhere I
love it. I love it. I love it. I'm happy that you've done that, because the heart is, Adi Ashanti, a beautiful spiritual teacher, says we must learn to look through the eyes of the heart. And right now, my heart says, can we have more compassion? Can we not tear down everyone else's viewpoints if they're other than our own? Can we truly soften our hearts to feel what is the positive intention in everyone's viewpoint and speak to that, connect with that? Even though on the outside it might look like anger, it might look like racism, it might look like whatever it might look like. If it's, rather than turn away or fight at it or use your intellectual prowess or fact-checking to crush other people, how about we first start with connection with the heart, recognizing that we are one human family, and many parts of our human family are going through great suffering. and parts of our human family are waking up to and not tolerating the suffering in their communities anymore. And let's support that. And then the next initiative, and then the next initiative. Let's keep supporting the momentum that brings us together while we clean up the dirt, while we clean up the pain, while we clean up the detriment that we're also causing each other, while we clean up the institutions which are embedded with paradigms and old imprints which are causing continuous harm and suffering in direct and indirect ways. Let's clean it up. But let's do it from the heart. Yeah, let's do it with resolve, and let's do it with warriorship. That's what's in my heart.
Thank you so much. Wow, it's 3:33 here. I just want to thank you again for coming on my show, and I'm looking forward to learning more from you. I think you've been a gift to me and so many others. So I just wanted to honor you and highlight you because you're the real deal.
Jennifer, you too. You're such a divine, sweet soul, bringing truth and love and your goodness of heart to all. I thank you, and everyone listening, all my love and all my care. And yes, I join you in this incredible time. Let's keep moving forward. The intention of true love and true freedom for all beings.
Beautiful. Namaste.
Namaste.
Have a great day, guys. See you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Ciao.